Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there, and all geeks, and welcome to another Monday night stream with the, as he calls him, Geekoscopy on the left-hand side of us. Right above us, you have Mr. THEED himself. Okay, so Geekoscopy is pointing in his direction for all the video because his is recording, ours is live. So, and the screens are different, yes. So, to our left, Geekoscopy, right above us. Corner is Zip Dippy's hidden face. But as you can see, don't follow what Geekoscopy is doing right now if you are watching us live.
This is for the recording. Yeah.
This is for the recording on YouTube.
Recording, then I don't know where.
Yes, but anyway, so we just like to. It's our usual stream night, Monday night, where we talk crap, talk shit, talk.
And we're starting earlier because we are an hour behind now, not 2 hours.
Yes, we've jumped forward an hour, so we are officially 1 hour behind South Africa. Hence the reason why we're live, and you can see behind us the sun is shining quite brightly.
For 12 minutes past 7 at night.
Yeah, for 12 minutes past 7. So, oh, don't worry, sun only goes down here at about 11 and like fully when summer's hit. So,
have you guys felt the difference with the time shift? Have you been there long enough to sort of notice it, or not really?
We went to sleep on Saturday night, woke up on Sunday morning. I had got a big fright because I was playing Resident Evil. No, it wasn't. It was Train Simulator. I was playing Train Simulator.
I came in and you were playing Resident Evil.
On Saturday night? No, I wasn't. You were sleeping downstairs. Darren woke you up.
Yeah, so when I came in, you were playing Resident Evil.
No, I wasn't.
Anyway.
Anyway, I was playing Train Simulator because, yes, this is the kind of arguments we have. But I was playing Train Simulator, playing it nice and happily there. I love my Train Simulator. Just to say, you guys have got your Euro Truck Simulator. I got my Train Simulator. But
Rocket League.
And Rocket League, yes. That's you guys, not me. So, I was playing
RC Football Simulator.
Nice. Otherwise known as FIFA.
No, it doesn't have RC cars.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
So I look down at the clock, and I'm like, fuck, it's 2 o'clock already. How the hell did that happen? Not realizing that the clocks had jumped forward because I looked at my phone. It automatically jumped.
Yes, of course.
Because he does all the automatic changeovers for us. He's like your Vodacom or Celsius, like your Vodacom in South Africa. But so they do all the changeovers on the cell phones automatically. I got a very big fright. I was like, oh my god, I've been playing for 5 hours. And it was actually only like 1. It only just hit 1 o'clock.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man. Yeah, I know my brother had a similar situation where they were watching a movie and he looked down at the time and he said, geez, like, how long is this movie? It's like, I thought we'd only been watching it for like half an hour, and now it's an hour and a half.
It is quite funny.
Well, I didn't really notice. I watched the very first Snow White, and then I watched Ariel, and then I watched the very first Alice in Wonderland, and then I fell asleep during Alice.
So guess what we've got? Wow. Kez is watching everything by Disney. Guess
Plus.
What we got?
Disney Plus, I believe so. I believe so. This week it's finally come to you guys.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Karen is, well, I'm going to be binge watching DuckTales.
Nice.
Like the original DuckTales.
But they've got so much on it.
They've got so much stuff. Yeah, it's we're mega jealous. I don't know about you tunes, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good childhood stuff.
I had it over December, and there wasn't that much stuff on there at the time.
Okay.
But I'm
guessing.
You
guys already had it, didn't you?
No. I had to go through some backdoor methods.
And,
you had to
backdoor methods.
VPN, change your name, say you're living in America.
Get a UK Google account or US Google account. Like, it was weird. It was so weird.
Hey,
I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed with it. Like, the VPN by itself didn't work. I was like, "What is this now?"
Oh man!
Then I had to jump all through these hoops But do you guys have any idea when it's going to be in South Africa?
Missions.
I don't.
No idea.
I don't know when
no,
Africa's coming.
but no, just yet, unfortunately. So we are going to have a few drop frames, and it's going to run slightly slowly, only because of the lockdown here as well. Everyone's at home. Everyone is watching the news right now, or watching a movie or something.
Watching
so the
Netflix
internet's
and chilling.
They should be watching us.
Yeah.
They should be watching us, but they're not. So, but the internet in our area is being bombarded at the moment. So unfortunately, we are going to have a bit of a slow, like run every once in a while. It might lag a little as well.
Also
The
because
internet
I'm
for
not
me
connected
as well.
to we're running off of the Wi-Fi now.
Oh yeah, we're also running on Wi-Fi at the moment because our network cable is giving shit. So I have to reset it.
Anyway,
Did we actually start the show yet?
We have.
We're live. No, we're full on
I don't
live.
even remember
We've been
the
live for a
intro.
while, dude.
Did we even introduce
That
Theed
was-
yet?
That was the whole Dragon Ball Z fusion dance that we
Yeah,
were
that we
doing.
did, yeah.
we should shit that we were doing.
And then we segued
anyway, yes.
into time zones
Yeah, we
after that.
segued into time zones, so it's quite
Yeah,
funny. Only because the
yeah.
sun's still up behind
I
us.
asked the question. That's my apologies.
So anyway, we're gonna do our introductions. Other than Geekoscopy, which you've already said is Theed's name for Geekoscopy.
You will never live that
And
down.
right above us, we have Mr. Theed himself, the special guest
Well,
for this evening.
no, it's not.
Oh, sorry,
No.
the
It's the Ed.
Ed. Okay, so if you guys see,
The
if you
Ed
guys
3.
look carefully, you'll see it's the bottom right-hand corner there. It says THEED3. So it's the Ed 3. Technically, that's what
I
Kez called
believe
him the
his
first
name
time.
was.
That's what
That's
Kez
really
called him the
what I
first
believe
time.
his name was.
He was
and I
very
still
unhappy about
asked
that.
you.
I still cry, but it's okay.
After the streams, I'll be
You just see like the helicopters and like the explosions.
Yeah.
Like,
They know what's
Post-traumatic
happened. Someone
stress.
called me the Ed. Yeah.
It's like you're back in Nam again.
Yeah.
I just got an email.
Anyway. We
Sorry, I
have
heard.
It's hate mail.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised.
For one of Theed's followers, he's like, "How dare you? How dare you?
Dare you?
How the
You know
fuck
it
did they
upsets
get all
me.
my
How can you
emails
start
address?
off like that?
How dare you call
Whomst
him
has
the Ed?
disrespected the king of streaming."
All right, so okay. I'm gonna do it again.
Don't do it again. Please don't do it again. As soon as he's gonna do it again, I'm gonna hide.
Before we get
Sure,
into the
but-
swing of things,
Oh,
can you
jeez.
give a quick summary of who you are and some of the work you are doing in the geek
Jeez
space gaming community? Please stop tugging at my eyebrow. Ow.
Every time he goes and be naughty, I'll just pull.
Stop.
It's a good opportunity to pluck his eyebrows.
Okay, that question was actually for
you.
for Theed.
For me,
So-
it's coming. Okay, so I'm a local content creator who mostly live streams a variety of games on Twitch. I've been involved with a few charity drives, which collectively have contributed over about 150,000 rand to various charities. So that's kind of me in a nutshell, which I am very proud of. It's been 3 years of glorious content creation, and I really can't believe I am where I am at the moment.
That's cool.
Wait, sorry. Let me still probably. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. There you go.
Was that a
And
Simba?
only part of your spirit is on you are blessed. Oh.
Jeez.
I am blessing you, my child.
Thank you.
Okay.
I feel very blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
I feel very blessed. I feel very blessed too, bro. Hashtag I is blessed.
You don't want me talking Afrikaans. There's going to be confusion amongst everybody.
I have heard you talk.
It's bad.
It's not that bad.
It's a party trick, I
It's
guess.
better than someone. It actually is.
She says that so politely, you know.
That's
well, and
a first.
You know, and she always gets pissed off at me when I correct her English. Yet she corrects my Afrikaans all the time.
I thought I was at the bottom of the log, but second last, I'll take it.
No. I am fully lost.
I'm not even on
That's
the
why I
log.
never speak Afrikaans.
You're
I'm relegated.
You're second last.
I've been relegated out of this tournament.
Tough competitors, yeah.
No, I've been. I've refused ever since Karen actually told me. Kez, sorry, told me. Doesn't really matter. You call me Ross all the time anyway, so everyone knows my name. Doesn't really care that I name drop you.
Hashtag doxed.
That doesn't really matter. But every single time she says to me, "Oh, yeah, you speak kak Afrikaans, Hana." So, and then she's always like,
"That was great."
Yeah, and then she's always like, "Oh, please speak Afrikaans for my friends," and I'm like, "Well, fuck you, no."
I was 18 years old, and I just met you.
I like it when you talk foreign.
I like it when you talk foreign. Actually, it's very funny when you're in the country. How many people actually say, "Speak South African for me"?
Yeah.
Like, shoot, bro.
Anyway.
Shoot, bro. I come from Cape Town. I sound like a Joburger.
Right.
So?
Buttons and see how they grow.
The silence. Seriously, okay.
What are
you sure you don't want me to sing? I said I offered it.
Sing for us.
Sing for your supper. Sing for your supper to me.
It's gonna be a twinkle twinkle. You're not gonna like it. Forget the words.
Twinkle little heart.
Yeah.
How I wonder really how you start.
No.
Inside everyone's nose, I believe.
La 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 la.
Even the one that was made by Steve.
I don't know what you're doing.
Twinkle, twinkle, little fart. How I wonder how you start.
How did we end up here?
Up inside the nose, I believe.
I feel like I should blame myself again. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
This is not your fault.
So what have you been playing recently? To me?
So, you know what, to be honest, I jam a lot of Rocket League. It's not even a joke. Like, it's actually, it's a bit of an addiction that I should probably see someone about, but I'm too busy trying to grind my ranks. So, we don't have. But yeah, I've recently started jamming a couple of like sort of tycoon games. Jurassic World Evolution, started 2 Point Hospital today. Bit of Sims 4. It's been a bit of a wild 2 weeks. Lost Doom 3, Fear. It's been a good time. Been a good gaming sort of venture I've been as of late.
Quite a variety.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you play like competitively Rocket League?
Rocket League, yeah, I do. Not against people locally, competitively, but so as you were to play like a Call of Duty or an Apex, you've got your casual modes where you just jump in with anyone and everyone, and you've got a ranked mode that as you do better, you progress in the ranks. So I mean, I'm better than your average player, but I'm nowhere near a pro.
Yeah. I mean, guys who play pro, they can do some weird, like, hectic stuff with the ball.
That were crazy.
Especially like the air game. Crazy. I don't have no air game. Like, if I stay on the ground, I'm fine. But as soon as you try fly around, like, that's where it's a whole other game.
Dude, it's a whole new game. It really is. Once you understand the ground game and you've got to move it to the next level, it starts. You start off again, and you're like, I've just feel like I've got the grasp of the game, and now it's just
it's a different game.
It's a whole nother. Yeah. It's a whole nother level of hard. So
that's where the rocket part comes in.
Says that, dude. Darkest just dropped a comment. Darkest just dropped a comment.
It's really addicted to Rocket League. Wow. Nice,
Kitty
Darkest. Thanks, buddy.
Meow Cake.
Yeah, Kitty is called Meow Cake.
Meow Cake.
If you look at the chat, you'll see there's not the chat, the screen. Kitty cat.
The last thing I played was actually Titanfall 2. I think it was out on PS Plus as well.
Campaign.
Yeah, the campaign. Actually, really enjoyed it.
First time?
I thought it was really good. Yeah.
I didn't hear what game was.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Titanfall 2.
Man.
Man. Dude, that campaign is next level amazing.
It's so good.
Have you finished it?
It's so good. Yeah, I just finished it this morning, I think.
You just finished it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, literally, as I stopped playing, as I finished the game, I started up on hard. Literally the same night I finished it, I started up over again. I thoroughly enjoyed it, dude.
Yeah. I felt it was a bit too short. Like, I don't
Absolutely.
think you had enough time to play around with some of the mechanics, like the time change mechanic. The platforming was really good in some sections. I thought it was like, I didn't expect it to be that good, actually. I thought it was like just gonna be, multiplayer focused, and they wouldn't pay much attention to the single player, but they put some effort into it, and I was impressed.
You're actually giving me goosebumps thinking about the playthrough, dude. It really was spectacular, but it was just like, it was so short. Like once you ended it, you were like, but there was so much more you wanted to do, and so much more you felt like you could accomplish. It was it was good. It was,
and the ending like hit me in the feels a bit,
dude,
with the title
in a big way.
It was
No, that was. It hurts. I'm still a bit teary.
More post-traumatic.
It's more of the helicopters.
What are the SA Geeks been playing?
What are you guys been up to?
Yeah, just Doom. The same level.
Kez has been live streaming Doom.
No, I got a little bit further. And then you've been playing Train Simulator and Resident Evil 2.
I've been playing. I am almost finished with Leon's story. So, okay, guys, you got to understand one thing. I played this game religiously when I was a kid. It's changed a lot. Not badly. It's changed a lot. A lot of things I don't remember being there that are there, and there are a lot of things that are missing that should be there. It's not a bad game. Before anyone thinks I'm saying it's a bad game. It's actually a fucking epic game. I enjoy it quite a lot.
I actually want to get
Oh shit!
No.
Load shedding. No.
Load shedding.
Share the load.
That's not a funny joke. You don't say that so loud, please.
Escom might hear you.
Here's it.
It's a sensitive subject.
But I wanna at some
Don't say
point.
Escom 3 times in a row.
We already said it twice. Guys, back out.
Bail out.
They've been bailed out. Okay, anyway.
Let there be light, and then there was.
Let there be light. I like.
What are you doing? Ziff lost down.
Yes.
His laptop died.
Oh dear.
Because I didn't plug it in.
Oh jeez.
Oh no. Oh dear.
So it's busy restarting.
Somebody gonna get hurt real bad.
Somebody gonna get hurt real bad.
Gur's fault. I blame Gur. Gur has been.
Kez is having her own like Escom moment here.
She's just on her own, yeah.
So we're like, I will do the load shedding today.
I will have the power.
Gur has the power.
I will choose who gets the power.
Oh, that's so funny.
See, Gur is holding a power bank. He has the power.
Okay, should we ask Steve another question, or are we waiting for Zerf?
Yeah. Now we can ask another question. He's gone downstairs.
Are you ready, THEED, for this onslaught of questioning?
So. Oh man. Okay, let me take a deep breath. Hang on.
I'd like to know who or what inspires you to do what you do.
You know, it's a bit difficult to say that there was somebody who inspired. I know that wasn't the question, but I want to start off with just sort of saying, like, there was a point in my life where I just used to love. Well, I mean, I still love playing footy games, but I was in a BT Games in Northgate when I was younger. Xbox 360 had just come out, and I was playing Gears of War on one of their like sample machines. And I was jamming away, and there was a lot of people that would come and just chill out and watch me. And I would offer it to them and say, do you want to jam? Because my mom had like gone off to do some Christmas shopping. So they were like, no, it's actually kind of cool. I want to just watch you play. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And it happened 2 or 3 times. I mean, one of the people actually walked away, came back, and he said, dude, look, just because I've watched you play Gears, I've bought myself a console and this game. I was like, that's crazy. It's really, really weird. And then fast forward a couple years later, I heard about streaming, and I was like, I don't really understand what it's about, because obviously YouTube has been around for the longest time. So I jumped onto Mixer, was the platform at the time, and I was watching it, and I happened upon a content creator, and I was just watching his stream. He was pretty entertaining, so I sort of like typed a message, and I was like, hey, what's up? He was like, hey, what's up, THEED? And I was like, oh, this is cool, I like this. And that's a gentleman by the name of Uncool Kev, and he's not that he's a massive streamer, but just at the time he was the guy who just gave me such a sweet vibe that I was like, you know what, if I could replicate this for other people while jamming games that I enjoy, that would be, oh man, that would be next level. And so that's sort of where I went step to step to doing what I do, I guess. I do now have a couple of content creators that I look up to. I mean, there's Ninja who's done phenomenally with what he's done. Not that I enjoy the game that he plays, but how he just blew up and just got next level was really cool, you know. And Dr. Disrespect, who's a massive entertainer, and he's just phenomenal. He's really good at games, and he's just enjoyable. And there's other people like Dan TDM, who's just different. You know, I like content creators who are doing different things. Like rinse and repeat stuff is very, everyone does it. It's the people who stand out and do different things that I look up to and say, wow, okay, you've gone on and done something that's worthwhile and noticeable and stuff like that. So yeah.
What is the thing that you are doing different or want to do different in the future?
You know, I really do my best to be myself. I want to be like, if you meet me in real life, you already know me because you've sat and watched a stream with me. So you've asked me questions about whatever, and it's like when you meet me in person, I'm the same person as I was on the stream that you're watching. That's something that I'm really trying hard. That was well done. I really do try and be myself, because I feel like in this time where everyone is just running around trying to be somebody else, you kind of lose track of who you are, and it's really important to not do that. So I try and do that on my streams as well. Be the best, most entertaining version of myself that I can be. That's actually me. So that's kind of what I feel like I do a little differently from other people who are just trying to entertain or just trying to be really good at a game or just trying to get views. That's sort of my take on it.
Sorry, we're just checking our stream. We had a bit of a loss of
drop frames. How do you think that you've changed in the community from when you first started streaming up until now? What have you learned?
It's pretty difficult to go back to a time where I didn't feel like I was part of the community. But I mean, it's not that it's been such a long period of time. It's just that so much has happened in the time that I have been involved. So I think what I would say is that I've certainly become a bit more tough. I've been through a fair share of drama, made a lot of friends since there, and a couple of not so friends. So I kind of feel like I'm a bit wiser than I was back then, and I've accomplished things that I never ever thought were possible, all through the power of gaming. So it's quite something. Yeah, I feel like I myself have just grown as a person and been exposed to something that I truly love, and have been able to sort of share that love with loads of people, which is cool.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Tunes, Marbury. News. Any news that you can think of?
Oh yeah, the latest thing. I think it dropped like a day after the podcast last week, but we got HP, we've got Valve, and we've got Microsoft coming together to do next gen VR, and I thought that was a pretty big like business move for 3 different companies to get together and try and get the next generation of what VR is going to look like. And Valve and Microsoft doing this together, I think, is kind of surprising to me, given how big software companies they are by themselves. HP obviously will probably handle the hardware side, but from the reviews that I've seen about Half-Life Alyx, Valve managed to really what is the word, like really develop Half-Life Alyx really well for the different systems, and they kind of made use software wise of each system, whether it's like Oculus or Vive, made use of each system's like strengths and weaknesses, and even their own controller I think they have for it, kind of like that's apparently the way to play it. So I think Valve is making very big moves. Microsoft obviously will try and compete with Sony when it comes to VR. So I think it's going to be like next gen VR is looking really interesting. Like I don't think because everyone, I think, well, there were like rumors that okay, maybe it's just not time for VR yet, because we tried VR like 20 years ago, with that whole Virtual Boy thing and stuff like that. Obviously it wasn't the time.
Let's not talk about the freaking boy.
Obviously there wasn't the time. And when VR came out, a couple of years now, how long has PSVR and Vive and stuff been? Not that long, but like the initial hype, with early adoption was really big, but then it just like sort of fizzled out because the software development wasn't that strong. They weren't like, most of the games were more like tech demos than actual games that you want to play. There were issues with frame rates and stuff. The actual like getting it to work is still a development in process or progress, but now I think people are making big moves to actually make this a thing, and with 5G internet on the horizon, it could be to where 5-10 years from now we'll be doing this through VR instead of how we're doing it right now. So
that would be pretty cool. Although I wouldn't be able to do it.
No, she'd be puking, so they need to sort that out before kids actually get around to it.
Well, with computer technology getting as fast as it is, like they're going to get the frame rate up, and that should fix a lot of the...
And that will help a lot.
I'm thinking of, look, we just got a PS4 Pro now, so it should help with the frame rates for the VR for kids. I might be able to put it onto like Beat Saber or whatnot and have her sit for the beginning in the initial stages and see if she can handle Beat Saber while sitting. And if she can handle that, then she can try standing up as well. Because Beat Saber is probably one of the more calm games in comparison. You're not running around, or there's no like real movement or anything like that. She's literally just standing still and moving sideways and ducking. So VR for her has always been a bit of a bitch, but she seemed to handle the Oculus Rift quite well.
Yeah.
And the HTC Vive actually.
No, I didn't.
Oh, no, it was the Oculus Rift at Lennox that you went on, and you were fine with that. So it must have been the frame rate problem, and with the PS4 Pro, that should fix the frame rate problem, at least for the VR. So that's the initial lookout for kids. We were trying to get her into playing. I want to get her onto Beat Saber because she loves playing those kinds of games.
We're digressing from the news. It's on topic, but
it's exactly on topic. How is it not on topic?
It's topic adjacent.
So I mean, I just want to jump in there to say that I've played a bit of VR and really enjoyed my experience playing with a VR headset. I've got a friend who's got a HTC and a really good PC that runs it, and he's had me play Beat Saber. He's had me play what else do we do? There's a couple of other games that I've played. I always forget the names. It's crazy. But we, come on, I'll remember it just now. But we've done a Paranormal Activity. We did that on VR, and that was just next level crazy. It was so crazy, but it was hectic. It was like a different kind of experience, because I like to play horror games when I'm streaming, because it's a bit less than you doing it by yourself. You're actually playing it with other people. So when you scrick, at least you're not doing it alone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which is not what you do.
Exactly, but it adds it like lessens the burden of trying to play through the game. And my VR experience, 100% agree with you. I think the next 5 to 10 years we're going to be gradually moving towards having better systems that are capable of doing things that we can't quite imagine yet, because it's engaging your senses that you don't really use. Now we use our hand-eye cord, we use our listening to try and hear where people are, and visual. It's just somehow they're going to just, when you're in your VR headset, you feel like you are a part of the game, and it's just it's weird. It's weird, especially when you come out of VR. You're like, geez, you've got to sort of train your brain to be like, look, okay, that was VR and this is back to normal life. And yeah, it's quite something. And I think maybe also on the mental side of things, you need to be a bit careful by overdoing it, because you don't want to push yourself to a level where you can't comprehend which one's which. So I guess I need to be a bit careful.
Yeah, I suppose it also depends on the game you're playing. Look, you can't. Okay, play Skyrim for example. I mean, I love Skyrim. It's one of the best games I've actually played in a very long time, and you get immersed in the game. There's no doubt you get immersed in the game, but you won't come out of it the same as you would, like, for example, out of Paranormal Activity. So you've got to look at the game that you're playing. I mean, like, you play Paranormal Activity, it's closer to home.
You're more aware.
Because you're more aware of yourself in that aspect, because you're actually, like, you're walking around houses.
You're a bit on edge.
You're a bit on edge in that aspect, yeah.
The VR version of
Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Yes, I shat my phone.
Yeah. She's like, I would like to try that.
It's a person game.
Dude, you will cock.
I've got a lot of adult diapers. I'll be fine.
Then give it a shot.
Just prepared for the apocalypse.
I am looking at getting it at some point and actually record. Actually playing.
Adult diapers.
Exactly.
You just need a bucket.
But Kez is going to actually jump on that one with me. She's going to actually not jump on it, but she's going to thoroughly enjoy watching me shit myself in Resident Evil. I've been playing Resident Evil 7 with the VR version though, and I'm probably going to cock about 15,000 kind of brick doing it, because it's kind of a scary game.
But at that point, as much as the stuff is going to advance and things, and as much as you want the games and stuff to be realistic and make you feel involved, you have to be careful, because people won't always know where to draw that line, and they won't know what's real and what's not. And if you come out of it and if you're out of VR and you think that you're still in VR and like you stab or shoot someone because you think you're in the game,
sure,
then what's going to happen? I know that's like a drastic step.
It
is something that could happen.
So, but I mean, that could happen. The whole thing is, that's like, again, you got to like step very lightly on things like that. You do not want to go down the boomer route where all gamers are murderers because we play shooters and shit.
Yeah,
but where you need to look is more along the lines of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Do you remember that one episode where the one engineer, he got caught up in the holodeck so much that he spent more of his time there than he actually did working. And actually helping the Enterprise be like the engineering department for the Enterprise actually run. That's where I see it going if people aren't too careful, because you can't live your life inside a virtual world and expect to actually survive outside of that. You've got to be able to tell the difference between the two, and that's where I suppose things like what we do when we actually stream and stuff like that, and we play games. That's where we actually help the people veer away from the whole virtual thing and understand that, it's just a game. Because if we can do it, they can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that went deep rather fast.
Deep.
That's my fault, I think.
But Sony's also bringing out the PSVR 2 as well, which is going to run concurrently with the PS5, which is quite nice. I like to hear that kind of stuff.
Did they announce it officially yet? I don't remember seeing this.
No, it's not officially announced, but they have said that the PSVR 2 is on the way. No, it's not speculation. They said it's on the way.
So it's on the way.
Yeah,
we don't know.
The PSVR 1 is
what it looks
compatible
like.
with the PSVR 2, but that's about as far as it goes in that aspect.
I wonder whether they'll like announce it when they reveal what the console looks like.
You know,
and when that might be.
I still want to know what the fuck this PS5 looks like. To be honest,
no one knows. It's not that V-shaped thing that they have. Definitely not going to be that.
Best kept secret. Yeah.
They're trying to do it because they're trying to piss Microsoft off. You know,
Probably
Microsoft has got that ugly box that they're now turning into the Xbox Series X. I mean, you know, we're getting both consoles. Kez and I are getting both consoles, but good God, if I wanted a desktop server, I would honestly go and build one, because you can't deny it. That looks like a mini server. You cannot deny it. That actually looks like a mini server. Back in the day when I was still a junior technician for a company, we actually built a mini server, and it looks exactly the same as a mini server.
Hi, neighbor.
What?
Hi, neighbor. I'm hiding my face.
Okay. Anyway, let's push on to our next question. What are your all-time best and worst games?
No.
What?
No. I want to know.
No,
and I'm
sorry,
pretty
wrong
sure
question.
How did you and Luna find me?
So it's I did run it by her before I answered the question. So I'm not sure if you would believe me, but it was through
Just
gaming.
so you know, guys, it's scripted.
She told him what to.
No. I just want to, like, I did ask her. I just said to her, look, I've been asked this question. Are you okay with this answer? And she said, yeah, that's cool. So basically what happened is a very simple story. It's not like it's a long one. I got invited to a gaming-related WhatsApp group. And as they say, one thing led to another. So we just got to chatting, you know. I played a bit of Overwatch with her, and we got on really well. I got on with her dad because her dad also plays Overwatch, so we'd play Overwatch together. And we just got to chatting. It started off like pretty casual, just friends, and then we were just chatting a lot more and more and more. And then, yeah, I mean, she's an absolute blessing. Yeah.
Hey, be nice.
I am, Angel. The guy's way of going, yeah, dude, you did good.
Yeah, so not a long story, but you know, pretty sweet.
Because Rusty is sorted, you're sorted. Now the next mission is to.
Yeah.
That's the hard mode. You guys
From a distance, it's going to be a bit of a difficult.
Yeah, especially now with a shutdown and lockdown.
You'll be doing really well if you got someone during this time.
Yeah, like you.
Although I did see a very funny video, and it was I did have a laugh. So this guy calls his ex-girlfriend, and he's like, "Can I come over? You know, all this lockdown stuff. I'm really missing you, and I've had time to think." Blah blah blah. She's like, "Okay, you can come over." And she's like, but no funny business. So he's like, okay, no worries. Goes over there. They're chilling out, having a glass of wine. And she's like, I'm just going to go freshen up quickly. So she goes to the bathroom. She freshens up. She comes back out and her fridge has been raided. And then it zooms on him running down the street with all her shopping. Be careful of those people too.
You know, when we thought of what the apocalypse would look like, I don't think we thought like this is how it was going to be.
No, never.
We thought it'd be like all Mad Max and stuff. Meanwhile,
here we are trying to steal each other's groceries.
Yeah.
Barter for toilet paper.
Yeah, I'll trade you a property and a Mustang for 18 pack. Yes. People are so ridiculous.
Number 6.
People are crazy.
They are. You're right. So you and Rusty decided to start a charity stream. Okay, I'm going to do it. It's definitely scripted on the 3rd and 4th of April this year. Tell us more about it.
You can't have it scripted and then can't read the question.
I can't stand scripted questions. You got to understand, I hate scripted questions. They're like the bane of my existence.
But you know what? It gives you direction, and when you're having a podcast, it's important to have a bit of focus.
Yeah, no, that's the bane of my existence.
Imagine you left us to just talk about PlayStation and Xbox. It'd just be bad. It'd be bad. It'd be like the startup.
That's why I made it, to keep everyone on.
That's exactly what it's supposed to be. Just get fully distracted. Anyway, so tell us a little bit more about how you guys got this going.
So Rusty's him and I have wanted to do a collaboration for a little while, and neither of us have sort of probed each other to do anything. So it took somebody to kind of poke Rusty and poke me at the same time to say, look, why don't you guys do something? So then Rusty was like, hey, do you want to do a collab? I was like, yeah, that sounds really great. And then it went from us doing a collab to just getting sponsors involved, getting a community involved, and I think it's going to be really, really cool. I mean, Rusty's been working insanely hard on getting it together. I've just about decided what I'm going to do with it, but it's more like him having sorted out a whole 24-hour plan of what he wants to do, and then other content creators just joining him during the course of it, whether they're doing the stream 2 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is, and sort of just keeping the hype going and seeing if we can get some money donated to cancer, who are now under a lot of strain because there's a lot of people who are not getting attention that they need, because everyone who's dealing with COVID is getting priority. So it's before the breakout happened, it wasn't as serious as
people with cancer or getting treatment for cancer are at a worse risk of complications.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They're also being turned away
from hospitals.
Yeah, I don't know if they're being turned away from hospitals in the UK.
I don't know if it's the same day by you guys. We actually saw on the news that there was a lady that was turned away from her radiation stuff, and she can't get the treatment, and she's freaking out now.
It's just too dangerous. I don't blame her. I don't being as scared as she is, but it's just too dangerous. It's to keep your treatment down for a few months or die immediately of the coronavirus. So I feel for her, I really do, but I hope she gets
catch-22,
I really do.
There's quite a few.
And hats off to all the emergency service people here in the UK and down in South Africa, to SANDF as well, for all the shit that those guys are going through. It's ridiculous, actually.
It's a lot. Yeah.
And there goes an ambulance.
We did not time.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we did not.
You said it was scripted. What?
It's his life imitating art. That's what that was.
Go past now.
But yeah, so hats off to all the NHS guys here in the UK, guys. You're doing a great job, and we do appreciate it. Every one of us. In South Africa, we are obviously South Africans at heart. We always will be. Just because we live in the UK doesn't mean we don't support the as well. SANDF, you guys are rock stars for doing what you guys do. The emergency services, same thing. And to you guys, to the streamers right here, these guys right here, keeping people entertained and all that stuff as well. It's just important. It's just as important for you guys to be. So yeah, you guys keep up the good work as it's important for everyone to do their part, and that includes us and you.
We clap hands.
Are you guys gonna?
Yeah, we clap hands. Do
you guys have a
I've heard
schedule?
It's really cool.
It is. Sorry?
Do you guys have a schedule for streamers for cancer?
We're gonna work on a.
We've asked to set up in it. So.
We are in it as well. I don't know. Like I said, it's Rusty today. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do the full 24 hours.
I don't think
because we do have other people living with us and stuff like that. But we will jump in where we can. And do what we can. But we are definitely participating because Creators United notice, so may as well jump on this one while it's available until Creators United wakes up.
I'll bore the shit out of you guys, and you guys can watch me play Train Simulator.
I'm feeling tired.
As long as you're having a good time, that's
You have to have a good time.
I just sit and stare. You know what I do? I sit and stare at the speedo and make sure that I'm not going too far above the speed limit on the tracks. That's it. Because if you do, you'll derail.
Tunes, are you joining?
I'm thinking about it. Obviously, like a lot of stuff changed for me over the past week. having to not move out, but essentially I had to go be with family during the lockdown. Yeah. So
it's always better to be with your
I'm
family.
thinking about it. My internet situation is not optimal right now. But I'll see what I can do. If I can put a few hours on the 2 days, I will try my best. At the very least, I should change my Twitter handle.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you can't stream, but you can join somebody who is streaming for an hour, half an hour, that also helps. It's always it's a like on Facebook, it's a retweet, there is still so much you can do if you can't stream. That's always a thing I like try and promote for sure.
You don't have to stream. You can.
That's very
There's so many other ways.
As South African content creators, we have to do the bare minimum, and the bare minimum is liking and retweeting.
But you have to do the bare minimum because you guys your electricity gets cut off all the time. You can't stream half the time in any case.
Don't say the word.
That's the owl word. It's not good.
Load shedding is not happening. What are you talking about?
That was 2 in a row.
It's rolling blackouts.
Done, dude.
It's rolling blackouts. Call it a rolling blackout.
Now I'm gonna jinx it because third time lucky. Load shedding.
Oh, jeez. I feel like an asteroid's about to come through the window right now.
Yeah. No, you know what? I can see where they're coming from at the moment, because what they're doing is they're saying no, that they don't have to worry about it because there's not so much constraint on the network. In certain aspects,
it makes sense.
Makes sense.
In certain aspects, it actually makes sense because the factories are all shut down. Most of the main businesses are shut down, so electricity has been pulled from all of those buildings, and it's just being set up on into the houses now. So I suppose, in certain aspects, it could make sense. There's not as much strain on the grid as there used to be.
I love this show.
But anyway, let's continue. No more sad stuff. What are your all-time best and all-time? Okay, we'll put it as 2 questions, but one at the same time. Your all-time best and worst games
that you've played and why?
Yeah, that you played and why.
All right, so I did touch on it a little earlier. Rocket League is definitely stands tall above.
Okay, excluding Rocket League.
It's coming. So with Rocket League, I've never quite found a game that I can play, and every time I sit down, I can get gradually better. I've never found another game like that. So other titles that I've really enjoyed are like the Call of Duty series. I've always been a fanboy of Call of Duty, except as of late, and the likes of Oblivion and Skyrim. But then taking me back to referring to why Rocket League's just my favorite is because once you get the hang of the Call of Duty, once you get the hang of the Skyrim and Oblivion, you cap your level. You can't really achieve much more. You as good as you're gonna get. So it's sort of the challenge becomes non-existent, especially when you get super OP and your character is just like ridiculous. So just to recap, Rocket League is by far the favorite.
Just play Bloodborne for an hour, dude. Trust me, leisure should know.
I remember I played for 20 minutes, dude.
It's 20 minutes, dude. It's nothing like playing for an hour. Trust me.
I can't.
She played for an hour. And she was actually the controller. She never gets that pissed off, but she got PO'd with this game.
The only other game that
easy to rage.
Doom. Freaking
Doom.
game.
Oh, I love Doom. Doom's good though.
It is, but it's so frustrating.
Yeah, especially on console, it's difficult because everything's so quick. You need a mouse.
Also, I've slowed down her turn because she can't focus on the turn with the controller. She said it was moving too fast.
It's too sensitive. Yeah, but I felt that with Doom 2016 when I played it. I took the sensitivity right down from I think it was on 5 down to like 1.5 because it was just they hadn't got the balance just right. And then I don't know if you guys ever played a game called Velvet Assassin.
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've played it.
No?
Nope.
So I can't remember exactly why I didn't like it so much. Mostly because I've made all the efforts to try and forget about it. But I just remember it being super, super bad. And I mean, it's obviously there's a potential that I was just going through a bad time at the moment. But I recall that on the tip of my tongue every time I've ever been asked what is the worst game I've ever played. Velvet Assassin, it's on top there. It always surfaces, and I'm like, ugh, it hurts. I don't know why. I don't know why it hurts so bad. It just hurts. Yeah. And you guys, can I ask you what do you guys favorite games and worst games?
Tunes, go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Right. My favorite game of all time, I think, would be Final Fantasy VI. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I just love the story there. I fell in love with JRPGs from a very, very young age. And Final Fantasy VI was one of the first that I played. The actual first is actually not a full JRPG. It's more of a turn-based strategy game, but also with JRPG elements, and that's called Shining Force 2. That was on the Sega Genesis, on the Master System 2. The worst game, I don't know if this is the actual worst game, but it's the first game that I ever dropped without finishing, and that was Darksiders 2. I did not enjoy playing Darksiders 2. Darksiders 1 I was fine with, but Darksiders 2, there was one mission that I just couldn't get past, and I just dropped it. I deleted the game off my PlayStation, and I was like, I'm never picking Darksiders up again. It wasn't a terrible game, but it was the first game that I ever I have no intention of finishing this game. I am done.
But if the fate of the world depended on you playing the game,
playing Darksiders 2, I would try.
Bring the helicopter.
I mean, I like to be a hero. I would try, but I would be pissed off. Why? Why Darksiders? Why this game?
So many other games that I don't enjoy that I would rather
maybe
play.
I could give Darksiders 3 a try instead of trying to
redeem itself.
Yeah, I think those are my two ends of the spectrum. What about you guys?
My most hated one has to be Bloodborne, hands down. Hands down.
You can't play it.
It's because I can't play it. I can't admit it. I pressured it. Same. I will not pick up that game. I will not touch it. I just see it there. I'm like, yeah, I see you. I'm not touching it. I'll play anything now. So if the fate of the world had to decide on me playing the world's first, sorry, I won't do it.
Sorry.
I'm with you. I also don't like Bloodborne. I played for 20 minutes and I was done.
I can't. I think that's my worst game ever. My favorite game, games, and I say that because they all interlink, is the Dragon Age series.
Nice.
Dragon Age 1, Dragon Age 2, and Inquisition. Those were my ultimate favorites that I'll play.
That's cool. That's cool.
Well, I don't have favorites, unfortunately. I've got too many games to have favorites. If you look at our collection now, you'll know I have way too many games to actually have any favorites.
What's a game that you will always replay, no matter what?
If I had to choose...
Grand Theft Auto.
No. I like Grand Theft Auto, but no. I would have to say it would be Final Fantasy VII. That is a game that I've played since I was a kid. I've always loved that game. And it's always stuck there. So that's definitely, if I had to choose, that would probably be it. My all-time hated, though, it's a toss-up because I've got two. I actually have two games that I despised. One more over the other one, but still. There was the Die Hard trilogy. Oh my god,
there was
that
a game.
Sucked. There was a game on PS1.
It was jeez.
Fucking terrible.
Nakatomi Plaza.
It was shit, dude. It was the worst game ever. But more mainstream now would be World of Warcraft. I can't fucking stand that game.
Wow.
It annoys the shit out of me. It is literally, if I wanted to farm that much, I would play Farming Simulator. I don't need
like
to actually. And I like Farming Simulator. Exactly. I like Farming Simulator, but if I wanted to farm, that's what I would do. I'd play a game that I actually farm in. I don't need to do it in World of Warcraft as well. So yeah, that pissed me off. So that was one of the reasons why I can't stand the farming. The graphics aren't great. I mean, I've seen better. I've seen a lot of MMOs actually that are much better. I mean, look at Secret World Legends, for example. That's got pretty good graphics for the type of game it is. And then of course our ultimate MMO is still Guild Wars. Yes.
How do you guys feel about?
That's actually that character there. He's Ritlock from World.
How do you guys feel about the Souls games in general?
Souls, Dark Souls.
Yeah, well, all of the Souls games, include.
You mean anything made by the guys who did Blood?
Exactly. Yeah.
I like them. Look, dude, I don't mind the challenge. They pissed me off, but I don't mind the challenge. It just makes it more fun.
I like them.
No, you don't, because you hate.
You don't like Bloodborne.
I don't like Bloodborne, but
the rest of them
I've seen the others, and they look quite interesting.
Yeah, they look interesting until she plays them.
Until you
she
play
realizes how cock-hard they are.
Because I tried playing Neo recently. Neo was a PS Plus game. Played in half an hour, and I was like, I've got no time for this. Anybody got time for that?
That's difficult, is it?
It's just I don't think you can be a proper adult and like the Souls game at the same time. Those two realities don't exist. You gotta choose one. You either gotta be good at the Souls games, or you're gonna actually function in society. I don't have time to
at the Souls games.
replay these games, the same missions over and over. I was stuck, like Kez was in that Doom mission, just trying to get past these two gods, and I was like, I am done, and I was like an hour in. What is?
Don't worry, you get used, like with Bloodborne, you get used to where you need to actually go.
I know, I understand the concept. I just don't I am definitely a story over gameplay guy, and that influences what I like to play. And if a game is taking up too much of my time to progress the story, I will just drop it. That's why.
You see, that's why I like JRPGs though. Why I like it, because actually it intertwined the two very well. Well, that is Final Fantasy VII. I think Square Enix are getting a bit greedy now.
We had it in
even Capcom. Just looking at the remakes of some of the games that I've got. Okay, Crash Bandicoot trilogy. I'm not talking about Crash Team Racing. Don't even get me started on that. I don't like what they've done there. But Crash Bandicoot trilogy. They give you an entire game. 3 entire games actually. Built 1, 2, and 3. All for you right there. You can go ahead and play it whenever you want to. Then you get Resident Evil 2. The entire game with added extras. So you got things that were never in the original games. Some of the things that were actually never in the. Okay, the Ada story is yes, but there were some things that were added in there that I don't remember playing. Those were in there, which was quite wicked if you ask me. I enjoyed that. I was very happy. And then you get Resident Evil 3, which is doing the same thing.
He's listening.
And then you get Resident Evil 3, which is doing exactly the same thing. So Capcom are doing. Then you get Square Enix. What we're going to do is we're going to release each disc at a nominal fee.
At full price.
In other words, we're going to bend you over and stick a massive dildo up your ass because that's what you deserve. And then we still got to pay for summons. Just adding on to that, we're going to make you pay for summons as well. No. So I think Square Enix are really they're starting to because of that. People always say, "Oh, why is Square Enix losing their player base?" That's why greed. Anyway,
I've never played any of the Dark Souls, so I can't really weigh in on.
No Souls likes at all, like Neo.
You played 20 minutes of
why I'm still so smiley.
That's about.
That's why he's so happy in life.
Wasn't clear.
You never came across the Souls like. I envy you.
He has come across one. You're lying. He has come across.
Bloodborne.
You play Bloodborne.
Yes.
It's made by the same people.
But like you said, it was barely playing, so I can't really.
Yeah, no, you played 20 minutes. It was like you look at graphics, you're like, ooh, it's very pretty.
You just created a character, you died once, and that was it. That's what you
I
do.
died once. That was it.
Yeah, you got nicked by a werewolf, by the werewolf in the beginning.
By the werewolf.
Oh yeah, you have to die in that thing.
I've been killed by the werewolf as well. You can survive. You can actually survive.
Can you
There's a way
survive
that
it?
you can actually survive.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Apparently, you can sneak up on the bastard, beat the crap out of him in the beginning, take his health down significantly, and then you've got to literally dodge and attack, dodge and attack, dodge and attack. It takes about an hour just to kill him.
Anybody got time for that?
I would rather just die to pick up my weapons, to be honest. Anyway.
Like if I was that dude, I'd be like, my time has come. Just chow me. I'm done here.
I'm just sticking out.
Ah, crap. We've lost...
Connection.
No, it's coming back. It's coming back.
We can't.
We can still hear you. Yeah.
see
No.
you.
Yeah, no, we've lost streaming.
Video feed has died.
It had to be. It had to be today, didn't it? What was that crap? I was doing that.
The #1 technical difficulties podcast on the internet.
There we go.
Geek-Inspired Podcast. Right here on twitch.tv/the SA Geeks.
Yeah.
They're back.
We're back. They're back.
Sort of. Not really though.
I see the stream's back on.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
yep.
all right.
Up, down, turn around.
There we go. Okay, so we're back again.
Oh.
1, 2,
And
3,
we're
we're
back.
We're back.
Sorry about that. Sometimes we lose stream connectivity due to the fact that we're running wirelessly, and again, the entire UK is streaming or watching something right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of strain on
Everyone's home.
It's a
all
shit
the
of streaming
bones of
service.
internet.
Yeah, it's painful. It is painful.
And it's worse for you guys because the CCOM lines are down again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CCOM lines are down for you guys, but the CCOM lines are down for you between the US and South Africa. The UK CCOM line is still fine.
Oh, I wasn't
Did you
aware
know
of that
that?
because I've been struggling with connectivity to Europe,
But most
European
websites
service, but it's
are US though.
2050.
But, yeah, no, it might be connecting servers, so it's between Europe and the US, and that's why the issues are hitting you. But the CCOM lines.
I just don't like what is going to happen in April. Like we've had all this nonsense happen to us, and it's like,
Yeah, that's always the thing.
it's like
What's
the
next?
world
April.
was on fire. Australia was on fire. We had people pointing nukes at each other. We have the coronavirus. We just entered a recession in South Africa. We just got downgraded to junk
Bro, you guys
status.
have been downgraded to junk.
Exactly.
The country is so fucked up. It is actually now a
It is
piece of
I
crap.
am like,
22.
is Godzilla gonna come out of the
22
ocean
and
next month?
34
Are aliens gonna make
pounds.
first contact next month? Like what is
it
what
gonna
is the
be
next
Cape Town
thing
or
that's gonna
Durban?
happen?
They won't come near South Africa. They'll be like, fuck that. We see how much
No,
crap's going on
they'll
there.
fly over it and go, no. go back.
We fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Yerks are fucked. Seriously, down in South Africa. Yerks are fucked.
Especially because no one listens to the government and in the townships, which isn't really their fault, but hey.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to the government either.
It kind of sucks, but they should be listening. Because unfortunately, if one township gets infected,
the entire township gets
Yeah.
infected.
It's game over. It's impossible for them to do social distancing in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's like those people who actually understand what they need to do or why they are doing it in the first place. It's going to be rough. Like we can
It's
only
gonna be
hope.
It's going to spread right throughout the entire country.
We can only hope
because
that
housekeepers work
yeah,
there.
we can only hope that
I mean,
it doesn't get bad.
can only hope that everyone does what they need to do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's enough
now,
sadness.
Steve, how have you found
Yes.
content creation in the geek and gaming culture space so far?
To be honest, I think South African content creators, geek culture and gaming wise, have really stepped their game up in the last, say, 5 years in comparison to the kind of people we had creating content 5 years ago to now, because of our improved infrastructure with the likes of LTE, fiber, ADSL lines moving past a 4 meg line in some of the places. You've got more people who are able to create content, and you're seeing a lot of people who are now jumping in and making content. I mean, you guys know how good the cosplayer scene is, and I don't know how it was 5 years ago, but my experience with cosplayers back in those rages in comparison to the ones that I've just been to are next level. I mean, they ways apart. So I really think that the general content creation skyrocketed good direction.
Yeah, that's true.
If someone came up to you and said, "Hey man, I love what you do, I want to do it too, become a content creator and stuff," what advice would you? I like asking people this question because everyone's different.
My biggest, most important thing is just start. I think a lot of people are waiting for their situation to be better, and I can't do it because of they're finding reasons not to rather than finding reasons to. And I think the biggest thing is to just start somewhere. Like to bring it back to my situation, when I first started streaming, I was streaming straight from my console. I just had a headset and an LTE router, so I was very basic. And now where I find myself, I've got a capture card, I've got a ring light, I've got a nice webcam, I've got an external mic, I've got a monitor. I've grown, but because I just started. I started and I was like, actually, I like this. I think I'm going to carry on investing time and money into growing this. And so I think the biggest thing is just to start and continue at a rate that is not relative, that is sustainable, because I'm seeing a lot of people who jump in, they're like, I'm going to stream every night, I'm going to stream 5 hours a night, and then by the end of the week they've burnt themselves out. And I'm like, you know what, I understand that you're really excited and you just want to create all this content, but
slow it down.
you just slow down, do it at a rate that, especially if you've got a 9 to 5 job, 8 to 5 job, do it in a rate that you can handle, that you can manage week in and week out, because then you're not going to be a trend, you're going to be creating content over a longer period of time.
And that makes it better for you.
Absolutely, more sustainable.
It's exactly how we actually, we started exactly the same.
Consistency is key.
Yeah. Kids and I started exactly the same. I was like, I'm going to stream. Well, when we started streaming,
we tried. We tried to do Monday to Sunday.
Monday to Saturday.
It was Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays was for filming for YouTube videos and stuff like that. So it was live streaming and then filming and editing other videos for YouTube.
It just became too much.
We burnt out and we're like, no, that's enough.
I mean, that's not impossible to do, like if you're doing full time, but you guys have other jobs, so maybe one day, but trying to do that and then pay the bills and then do adult stuff.
You ask.
Remember, I'm studying to be a teacher. Just remember.
And
that.
studying,
so that's never gonna happen.
You gotta choose your fights, like.
You really do.
Pick your battles.
Sometimes you gotta like play chess with every hour of your life, and it's exhausting. But you gotta just choose.
It does,
You gotta spend that time wisely.
Do you have any news for us before I ask my last question? Because we don't have news. Sorry, June.
I was gonna. I don't know. I don't want Ziff to get too tilted, but I did see that.
Hang on. We've lost connection again.
Oh dear.
Okay, I'll hold the question.
God damn
or the news.
We're leaving the call.
Press pause on your live game.
I said I don't want to tilt him, and then look what happened.
He got tilted. All right.
You got tilted. You don't even say anything. Insta tilt. Damn it.
Insta tilt. Tiltception. Just straight left. That's fine.
Just straight up left. I'm done.
How are you?
I'll show you not.
How are you faring with the lockdown so far?
I'm getting there, man. I don't like how much it's all in your face and it's just going on all the time. So dude, I've been in lockdown for over a week already. So work sent us on leave last Friday. So I'm into the like routine. It's not. It's weird. It's weird, dude. It feels super surreal. But you know, we just got to do what we got to do. So
yeah, this is a different mode of
yourself?
life that we didn't.
So strange, dude.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Alrighty, we're back.
Again.
God, I can't stand having this shitty internet. It kills me.
All right.
Anyway,
So
you want
can I
to
jump into my tilting? Yes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So there has been obviously a couple of PS4 exclusives that now we're seeing move on to other platforms.
For God's sake!
I'm sorry. What are you gonna do? There's
they
Horizon Zero
again.
Dawn. You see, he's left. He's left. He's done, dude. Maybe that's what he was shouting at, not me bringing up my topic.
He wasn't shouting at you. You didn't say anything yet.
Thank goodness. Well, maybe I said enough. I'm gonna stop asking the question, dude.
You just straight up left.
Straight up kicking everything. Shit.
You.
And you tunes you're holding up, dude?
Yeah. Obviously, like traveling and stuff has been tiring. Because I drove from PE to Durban.
And I heard every fucking word you said there.
You can see how the other person's connected. Yeah. That's why we weren't saying anything rude, dude.
Yeah. We could have gotten way worse.
Yeah.
Right. So we should be live for a short while.
For a short while longer.
We can get that question out there.
Wrap it up.
What were you going to ask?
It's just that I've seen rumors being posted online that what happened with Horizon Zero Dawn was that on the box art on the website, the PlayStation exclusive was removed, and they've seen the same thing happen with God of War. And I think, as much as I feel sorry for the PlayStation people, and I'm being genuine, I'm not just being an arsehole, as much as I feel sorry for them, I really feel happy for the other gamers who get to experience those experiences. Because as I had an opportunity to borrow somebody's PlayStation 4, man, I got to play Last of Us, and my life changed. Not quite that dramatic, but I got to experience games that people have been bragging about, but that I've missed out on because I don't have that platform. You know, and I feel like that's so great that PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch, they're all sort of trying their best to incorporate each other to give gamers a collective experience. And I mean, taking on what you'd said about Valve and Microsoft and HP all coming together, because I'm hoping it's not a cash grab. It's more, look, we're trying to give you more platforms to do what you love doing, but everyone can do it wherever you're at. And I really hope that's where we're heading.
No, I've never had qualms about before you think that you would have ever tilted me there. I've never had any qualms about the fact that I believe that Sony and Microsoft, you're not innocent in this, should start releasing their exclusives to other platforms. Because firstly, yes, it is money for them. More importantly, you are giving gamers an opportunity to play your games. But at the end of the day, the developers will get more money if they actually release it onto every platform.
Absolutely. More sales.
I've never really had a problem with
exposure. It's more everything. It's more. It's better for everyone in the long run. Yeah. No,
I've never really had a problem with it. I just say that if they're going to do it, that Sony mustn't be the only one to jump on board and do it. Microsoft must jump on and do it as well. Otherwise, you know, what is it? It's a one-sided affair where Sony gives all of the games to Microsoft. Microsoft goes, no, we got all your games, fuck you. You know, because then Sony will just back off and say, well, you know what, fine, then we'll take all the exclusives back. And you won't get them anymore.
What they could do is, like, if they do still want to have some sort of exclusivity, have it on Xbox or PC or PlayStation for like a month or something.
Timed exclusives.
Sony's been
after that, release it to everyone else.
No, I agree that going to a timed exclusive model is going to be better, especially since there's still proprietary hardware. Until streaming technology gets to a point where we don't need to have a box in your living room anymore.
Sure.
There's still proprietary hardware, and that hardware needs to be sold. So I don't think like exclusivity is going to go away completely anytime soon.
No, anytime soon.
But definitely moving towards more timed exclusive makes sense, especially if you want to be more consumer friendly, more developer friendly. It's the better. It's the better decision to make. It works both ways, because there's still a company that's want to make profit on their hardware.
Yeah, and accessories.
Exactly.
If you're releasing a racing game like Gran Turismo, and you've got the steering wheels, absolutely,
all the stuff that comes with it.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of Gran Turismo.
I hope it's a good.
It must be a very difficult business decision. I can't imagine what the high level meetings are like. Is okay, do we put this out? Do we not? What the sales are going to be? Obviously, these first party studios, they get money up front to develop, because they are first party studios. But now if they open up the market to third parties and other first parties, do they then start taking away upfront development money?
Sure, that's true.
Because it's it must be super complicated. But I think we're going towards a world where it's going to be more open in general. So I'm going to see it makes sense that they would be trying to ease into it.
Yeah.
And also cross-platforming would be one of the most important things as well. Because there are a lot of gamers out there that play on only one exclusive console, whichever it may be. So.
But you still want to play the game with your friends.
But you want to play with your friends, and if you can't because you've got the Xbox and they've got the
PlayStation or PC.
Yeah, PlayStation or PC. Then granted, PlayStation, PC, and Xbox can play quite a lot of games together now that Xbox Live is like that.
Yeah.
But Sony should actually come to the party with that as well, which I believe that they're trying to do now with the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
The new games are going to start coming out with cross-platform and all that crap. From what I've heard.
And it's so great from a server point of view as well, because there's nothing worse than loading into your favorite game. And the Call of Duty industry, the Call of Duty, the local Call of Duty community is massive on PlayStation. Yeah. So they're not complaining at all about getting games. The guys on Xbox are like, you know what, I wait an hour until I get a game. By the time I get in the game, I die almost instantly because I've just been sitting here waiting for a game, and it's so frustrating. I don't want to play the game anymore. So I think from that side as well, like Call of Duty is full on cross. So you've got PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and I've had opportunities to play with friends on PlayStation that I've never had.
You must get your ass handed to you by PC players.
The PC players.
That's not too bad. But then also,
I just said that they must have that thing that goes around you, put a VR headset on, proper gun, and then you can play the game in reality. You will fuck everyone up. The keyboard jockeys have no chance. The controller jockeys have no chance against a real soldier who's actually got the shit in his hand and he's running around shooting shit out of you. I'm talking about soldiers. They actually do it. They have this whole simulation thing with this shit.
That reminds me of the Gamer movie. Do you remember that movie?
Yes.
That stuff was hectic though.
No, but they've actually got some technology out there that you can do that now, where you've got this ring around you, and it holds you in place. And what you do is you hold a controller that is basically your gun.
Yeah, you're on a treadmill.
Yeah, it's something like a treadmill. But it's not a moving treadmill. Essentially, what you've got to do is you've got to run for it to actually do something. But it picks up every movement. If you crouch, you just got to duck down and crouch, and it'll pick up as you're crouching. You can sprint, run slowly. You can do all of that shit in any FPS. Those guys will have an exceedingly large advantage over any keyboard jockey and any controller jockey, because they essentially are being real soldiers. Fucking lost them again.
Oh, God damn it.
Well, we haven't lost you. We've just lost the damn stream again. Okay, I think we're going to do the last question and then we're going to close off.
Send location.
I got nuts to say goodbye to everybody.
Nice. I got some food I need to eat.
Oh, you didn't try yet, eh?
I didn't know, dude. I got
distracted.
Yeah, because we were watching the address, and then.
Oh yeah. I was also watching that before we started.
I was like, oh shit! I didn't realize.
Okay, now.
Even though Kez did tell me. No, you didn't. But I think, they asked the last question, so we. Ready to wrap it up.
We're just gonna do outros, I think.
All right, yeah, I think we can actually just do outros then. Unless you want to ask
quickly, what are your 2020 plans?
Oh, yes.
Like super quick.
2020 plans. I really hope that I can double the efforts from last year. So there was a lot of shit that I attained last year that I didn't think was possible, and this year I really want to step it up and make sure that this year is one worth remembering. So with Rusty's stream, with the charity thing that's going on, that's going to be really great. I've got a couple of other sort of channel-focused goals that I've set myself, like one of them being 500 hours streamed this year, which is something that I only got to 380 last year. So if I can manage that, that'll be phenomenal. So we'll see how it goes. But I do hope to grow my following and just my general stream stuff.
I like that type of goal because it's something you can control. Like, you can control whether you stream 500 hours, but you can't control whether you get 500 followers.
Can't control your followership. It's impossible, dude.
Yeah.
No, it is. No, it's a very good goal
just
to
putting
have.
in the work.
I would say. Alrighty.
Now go do it.
Yeah, now you must just go do it. Okay,
Off I go. I'll see you guys later.
The quicker we're going to actually hit this thing. All right, so we're going to do this real quick. Right above us, where do you get your? Where do we see THEED? Where do we find the THEED? Where do we find the Ed? Where do we find the
I'm on Twitter. I am _THEED3. Facebook. I am THEED3. Instagram. I am _THEED3. Twitch.tv/THEED3. I got YouTube. I've just got my creators code thingamajig, so you can just youtube.com/C/THEED3. That's me.
Very
I'm
easy,
all over the place. Just Google THEED3 and then it'll show you.
It should pop up.
Awesome.
It should pop up somewhere.
TikTok.
Thank you, guys.
All right, awesome.
He's there, but not yet.
Geekoscopy, where do we find you?
Oh, you can find me on the internet, according to Natsu. He'll tell you after he's done showing my fingers. You can find me at Geek-Oscopy, unless you're on the stream, in which case this might be mirrored.
Then it's
It's the same as the shirt.
Yeah. On all the useful places on the internet.
Awesome.
Also, the Geek-Inspired Podcast does have a Discord channel that we post up as well, where you can find all the other episodes, including this one.
Yes, you will find all of them.
And the link, the reason why I put that one down is because it's easier to find, but there is a YouTube channel for the Geek-Inspired Podcast.
So the audio and video on demand are usually up a week later.
Yeah.
So usually before the next episode is recorded, the previous week's episode will be up on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes. I think iTunes. It goes to Apple somehow, but I don't know whether it goes to iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube.
It goes to Apple somewhere.
It goes to some Apple.
Yeah, that Apple over there.
Some Apple somewhere.
Alrighty then, and then for us, Angela, you can take it around this one.
Obviously here on Twitter. Oh, on Twitter.
This is not Twitter.
On Twitch.
Twitter looks a lot different than last time I logged in.
on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
No, they got it right. The SA Geeks, now on TikTok.
Yeah. Just look for that purple logo and you will find us everywhere.
Yes, you will find us everywhere. But guys, THEED, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Sorry for the issues.
It's been real. Sorry for the issues. We do apologize. It's been rather real.
Yeah.
Just shows you how the lockdown.
Lockdown. Blame the lockdown. Hashtag blame lockdown.
But it just shows you how bad the lockdown has actually become all over the world. But again, thank you so much for being here. We do appreciate it. It's been awesome. Tunes, as always, dude. It's been wicked.
Thank you for joining us from
Thank
your
you
new
for joining
location.
us. Yeah, from your new location. Give Natsu as much love as you can.
Yeah.
And guys, for you guys watching us, whether you're watching us now, afterwards, on VOD, whatever it is, guys, thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
Yep.
And as always, remember, keep it geeky. Bye.
Bye.
Use my bloody earphones there too.
Bye.